Hi there. My name is Sharon Rolfe, and I am the author of Fresh Courage in Retirement, Finding Purpose, Essence, and Fulfillment. And I am going to read you my book, and this is going to be done in chapters so you don't have to read, you know, figure out where you stopped. You can join. I think I have 6 or 7 chapters here. So this is the front of the book, and I want to mention to you that I found that I come across the term fresh courage um, when listening to a Hallmark movie, and they said when you go home from vacation, you often go home with fresh courage. I had figured that out when I heard um, that phrase, and I thought, how cool a term because it sounds exciting and refreshing. And I had realized that yes, when I went home from vacation, I could go back to work and I had more determination and gumption and initiative to solve things that had been long overdue to get solved. Um, and purpose and essence is a big part of my life. One of the turning points of my transformation happened when I learned my essence statement in coaching class. And then I like to sew. I've collected words of wisdom and I love color. So that's how I want to introduce this book to you. And I have as a intro to the book a poem, and you might recognize it as one that was shared at Princess Diana's um, funeral. Time is too slow for those who wait, too swift for those who fear, too long for those who grieve, and too short for those who rejoice. But for those who love, time is eternity. And that's from a long time ago, Henry Van Dyke, 1852 to 1933. And that's just a solemn, calming, kind of warm reflection, kind of the maybe the good and the bad together. So, fresh courage in retirement, finding purpose, essence, and fulfillment. And this book is for more than people in retirement, but my examples are kind of centered around retiring because I want to encourage people to live from with fresh courage and think outside the box and find things that ex excite you and you alone because you are unique. All right, so I'm in this part, I'm just going to read my introduction and preface because um, they're uniquely mine, you know? So the date of 12/10/20, after a big aha, my introduction. I might be a little weird, but I love to hear and read stories of people who've had a near-death experience. And I marvel at the willingness of the author and pastor Todd Burpo to listen and respect his young son Colton's experience in the book Heaven is for Real and the movie. It's very stirring to me. During the last 3 or 4 years, as I ponder the phrase in the Lord's Prayer, Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, I've actually started sensing that heaven really wants to come to earth. So I sometimes imagine myself standing in heaven, sensing all the beauty and fragrance and colors and vibrancy and love and peace that people with near-death experiences, also known as NDE, talk about. Then I wondered how would it change, impact, or make my life back here different? I'm now starting to understand how. So I had a big, huge aha moment yesterday when I was writing this book. Last week, I'd heard an author, Lewis Howes, interview with Rhonda Byrne, the author of The Secret, on his podcast. The show started out with her soundbite: the more effortless you are, the greater you manifest everything you've ever dreamt of. Well, my title of my company is Effortless Vitality, so that really caught my eye. As I chewed on this, I really felt I am daily living an effortless life as I am growing my coaching business. Today, I operate from a sense of what my next step is, from a deeper feeling inside, like a little small voice. So I have to be intentional about listening, as opposed to being a goals-oriented person. I don't actually know how to grow my business, but since I come to respect the wisdom from inside, I trust the process of knowing when I need what I need to know. And what I seem to need shows up for me within the hour, a day or two. Like when I go to a secondhand store, or when somebody gives me something at the right moment, I get a sense from being taken care of. That synchronicity, how cool is that? So the lightning bolt came when I realized my effortless vitality plan that I'd worked on all year during the pandemic of 2020 was to teach people how to discover, live, and make new choices aligned with their DNA or their soul. That's like living from their heart, where it flows effortlessly, like the journey I've been on that feels like heaven on earth. And another aha happened earlier in the year that I felt so good, was understanding that I could actually be paid to live my life vision, and recognize that the resulting feeling was to be in love with life. I want that for you too. Now I stand on tippy toes for all my dreams to manifest. I have a confidence that is just a matter of time. People need this. Just as important to me as my dream of being of service is my willingness to be the one to influence and speak out so you grow and realize your own dreams, your own heaven on earth, as you create an ideal life too. That's a huge shift from wanting things or money to satisfy one's desires. So, why do I do what I do? I believe it can change the world. What's better than heaven on earth? I'm a behavioral scientist and a retirement coach, a great, unique, perfect combination to deliver this message to you. I believe there's a deep contentment, peace, and satisfaction in knowing the reason you are here, knowing you have a place to fit in. If you have focused contentment, a generous heart, and vibrant dreams you want to bring to life, I will guide and partner with you in uncovering your special DNA or soul to understand and know perfectly your uniqueness so you thrive. Does this sound good to you? Is this what you're looking for? I want to touch the desire you have to contribute and to matter. Like the feeling of petting your dog or cat and feeling connected, right? This is your most important day and place in life. I will help you find clarity so you have excitement and personal growth too. Now, let's recover the excitement and curiosity of a 3-year-old. Feel the joy of exploring, and let's renew your appreciation for the mystery of life. Ever watch with in amazement at someone whose job fits them like a glove? Maybe it's been a waiter or a waitress at your favorite restaurant. Maybe it's your favorite singer or actor. Maybe it's a daycare worker or teacher. Self-discovery is amazing. This can be you. So, on the following pages, along with what I'm learning on my journey, are the thoughts, determinations, and discoveries shared by many accomplished people in our contemporary world. And at the end of the book, I have offered a segment inviting you to go deeper in each chapter with additional resources that are valuable for you to explore on your own. Like Google search. My podcasts and contributors are listed so you can go into more depth on a particular topic. So let's get started. Now, my preface is just called Be Fulfilled. You might wonder why I chose the chapter titles that I did. And I had a couple people recommend author Donald Miller to me as being a model to study. I was quite impressed with this book, Scary Close. How real, vulnerable, and engaging he was, as the book is about being single and terrible at relationships. Then I read his building a story brand, clarify your message so customers will listen. And his style was clear and simple. So Miller says that what people want pretty much falls into 7 categories. Among them are to be safe, healthy, happy, and strong, etc. I connect these same desires to living a better life in retirement, actually, to any season of life. So my chapter titles examine these same topics. Also, I probably need to explain something else up front. I do not live a life based on fear, period. Here's my story. When I moved across country from Washington State to Tampa, Florida for a job transfer, my friends had told me to allow 3 to 6 months to find a new community of friends. I felt like I was chugging along pretty well for 3, 4 months, and then I lost it. I started doubting the process and dancing with homesickness. Before moving, though, I felt a strong sense that this was the right move for me and that God was teaching me a new thing about love, sensing a feeling of being a newborn baby, being rocked in his arms, like starting over. So, if this was my right path, going home after 4 months wasn't right. I was going to need some help. And looking up scriptures on fear and courage proved interesting. I found 3 references in a short amount of space in Joshua chapters 1, verse 6. Be strong and of a good courage. Verse 7. Only be thou strong and very courageous. Verse 9. And also again in verse 18, be strong and very courageous. I remember stomping my foot and talking to myself about being brave and strong, of good courage, very courageous, bold and strong. Lots of days, lots of times. Need I say again that I refuse to live my life based on fear? It solidified my resolve to give no place in my mind and heart to what ifs or worry or anxiety or drama. I am very saddened with all the fear in the TV media, the news, the ads, the shows, the commentators. It's possible to buy insurance for all sorts of things to protect your fears and your pets. I noticed that when the pharmaceutical ads started saying, when you go see your doctor, when you have UTI, or when you get the flu, and what happened to if? Not when. That sounded like brainwashing to me. Another thing, my favorite verse is Ephesians 3:20, and the NIV goes like this: Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we seek or ask or imagine, according to his power at work, his power at work within us. Years ago, in doing a word study on biblical terms for power, I found two versions of power in this one verse. One type of power is dunamis power, like dynamite, means miraculous power, mighty or Holy Spirit. And energeo, meaning energy, active, being at work, operative, powerful, or effective. So in Ephesians 1:19 and 3:7, it says to me that we can co-create with God my energy and his miraculous power, the ideal, the DNA he created in me, and the work of my hands being a dynamite combination do explosively good stuff. Your work and your DNA coming together for jobs that fit you like a glove and are fulfilling. That's the kind of work I do. Let's work together.